Going on, you guys? I'd like to welcome you guys to another one take review. It's your boy Big Dog back with a review for Quentin Tarantino's night film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie. But to me, I'm to get right into it. Her role was not prominent. Margot Robbie played Sharon Tate. If you don't know Sharon Tate, Sharon Tate was infamously murdered by the Manson family. And if you don't know that going into the movie, and if you don't know that whole backdrop going into the movie, some things might not necessarily make sense to you. Because I had a friend of mine who we went saw last night, and they didn't know exactly like who's Margot Robbie, like what was that whole thing about. And then I explained to them like, oh, Margot Robbie, Charles Manson, the guy Charlie was in the movie, and like the Manson family, like, oh, makes so much more sense now. But they still love the movie even without knowing that. So you don't have to know that, but like knowing that adds another layer on top of a lot of things that happen. Because me personally, I think I want to see this movie again because I think there's a lot of things that I missed, like little subtle things that I missed in the movie that probably meant a lot of things that I just wasn't paying attention to. This movie is pretty much about Leonardo DiCaprio's character, fucking Dalton, and Brad Pitt's character, Cliff Booth, who is Rick Dalton's stunt double. And it's during a time in Hollywood where Leo's characters, he's not really like getting the work he used to. He used to be on this big time Western that was back on TV. Then he trying to transition into movies, and like it's just not. It's in a time where like, hey, your time might be up. You know what I'm saying? Because you see everybody's seen that or heard that about in Hollywood. Like, hey man, they did Hollywood looking for the next young thing and so on and so forth, and then you kind of get pushed out the way, or you know what I'm saying, you're not really remembered as how you used to be. You know how this world's been like this forever. So it's a what can you do for me now type thing. You know what I'm saying? So and you get that, and you kind of get like this friendship between Leo and Brad's character, and it's just like it's pretty much like an adventure through Hollywood in the late '60s. You know what I'm saying? It's not, to me, this movie's strength is not within its plot. It's within its acting. It's within the characters. You know what I'm saying? And not even all the characters at that. Because I think the characters you latch on to are the ones you probably with the most, and that's Brad Pitt's character and Leonardo DiCaprio's character. And you probably there's just some scenes of just phenomenal acting. There's some scenes of like, there's one scene, because there's times where there was only one time, because the movie's 2 hours and 45 minutes. There was only one time where I found myself waiting for something to happen. Because it was during just like a drinking sequence where I'm kind of like, okay, what is this doing? I need to. But it was crazy now that I even think about it. It's like I think I get why that scene was there, because that was kind of like setting up some stuff. You know what I'm saying, for the end. Because see, it's one of those movies. It's a thinker. But I guarantee you, once you leave the theater, you're gonna be thinking about this movie. You're gonna be thinking about so many different scenes that you like. Oh, this scene here was crazy, or that. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I love the ending. You know what I'm saying? Because it was Tarantino. It was Tarantino. And I felt like I was waiting for the ending to happen throughout the movie, but it happened how I feel like a Tarantino movie should. It just the humor was great. It's just so many little things that the movie does, and like the way these actors, Leonardo DiCaprio's fantastic. Like it's just Brad Pitt gave a great, like everything about it, every little sequence, and like there are so many details into everything. Like the way Tarantino shoots, and it's like I kind of wonder what does Tarantino not put in his films. You know what I'm saying? I kind of wonder like what did he cut? Like what was not put in here? Like it seems like everything gets put into his film, but then when you go back and think about it, it's like there's something behind everything. That's just the artistry of him as a filmmaker. There's no wasted movements. There's no wasted moments. You know what I'm saying? Just but like the film's biggest weakness to me are in plot, and probably some characters just don't get much to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I can excuse that because while other Tarantino films were more of ensembles, I feel more of ensemble. This wasn't that. This was a story about Leonardo DiCaprio's character and Brad Pitt's character with some Margot Robbie. Like like I said, her character is not prominent. You take her character out of the story, things barely change, if they change at all. But knowing who she is, and that affects like the end of the movie. You know what I'm saying? And also, like, I guess it affects like the way you think about the movie in general. So I won't say our character's not necessary, but I'm just like, okay, I get why, but if it wasn't there, you trying to change it up a little bit, I would still get it. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that she is Sharon Tate in the film kind of gives you a different perspective on everything else that's happening in like the backdrop of the film. And like there's one scene in particular with Brad Pitt. Well, I can't even say there's one scene. There's multiple scenes with just him in general, but like there's one scene when he's at like a ranch. It's like the most, like that's when the film picked up for me. Like it was good, but like the film picked up there because it's like it was like this tension that you felt in the theater just watching. You honestly have no idea what's gonna happen because you're watching a Tarantino film, so your mind goes one way, and you're just like, what the hell is about to happen right now? What's going on? And like I appreciated that, and there's so many other scenes like Leonardo DiCaprio as a scene just like in this trailer. He's frustrated about some stuff, and like it's just superb, bro. Overall, I think I would have to give Once Upon a Time in Hollywood a B. I thought the film was good. Like I said, it had a couple problems, you know what I'm saying? But I still appreciate it. I actually have to go see the film again. I might appreciate it more, I might appreciate it less, but I still have to go see this film again. I definitely think it's worth checking out. You guys let me know what you thought about it. If you've seen it, down in the comments, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. I'll catch up with you guys later. Peace.